What is up, members? Happy Friday, and let's go on with another FxBlade Fridays. So, many of you guys know is I like to keep my charts exactly like the last video. I don't like to change anything, and I just kind of explain where things are going. So, starting off with Euro JBP on the 4-hour time frame, we're still on the same trades that we placed last week. Okay, there hasn't really been much movement on Euro JBP really for the whole week. So if you go to the weekly, you guys can kind of see it really just it hasn't really moved. It's been fluctuating really about 40 pips, 50 pips really, nothing crazy on Euro JBP. So we are still actually in the sell, and here's why I still believe this is a sell, guys. So if I just hide all the trolling tools real quick, look on the weekly chart. It's hitting our EMA. Okay, it's respecting the EMA. Last time it touched it, last week, it bounced off on it, and you guys can see that this week's candle is a bearish candle. Okay, based on the EMA on the weekly. Okay, one thing you guys should understand about the EAs is that once they cross over on the weekly time frame and the monthly time frame and the daily time frame, that means that it's more likely to happen. Okay, so right here you guys kind of see it's using the 18 EMA as resistance, and it looks to be heading down just by the look of it, right? You guys kind of see 3 wicks to the bottom, but there's one huge hammer wick, reverse hammer, whatever you want to call it, back in the March 18th week. Cool. But if we hop into the daily here, look where price is at compared to the 200 EMA, right? Even though there's a little gap, it's rejecting. Let me draw this. Maybe it'll make it clear for you guys. You guys see that trend line that I just drew? Right now it's also hitting the zone, as you can see. And as soon as it hit it, guys, literally I called it. As soon as it hit it, it did a reverse candle and started dropping down. Okay, so it's been dropping down for 3 days now, right? So I still see Euro JBP dropping down. Right now it's fluctuating between these two zones, which isn't really too much trading going on. So right now we're really just waiting for it to go down. I believe it's gonna come retest this red trend line one more time before rising up, like I said before. Maybe testing this green trend line, before launching off. But still, guys, I want to see it hit the 61 Fibonacci level before rising up to the 200 EMA. So just to be clear exactly what trades I'm in, right now I'm in 2 trades, and you guys kind of see right here where the entry and exit is. And you see as soon as it touched it on the zones. Guys, if you learn how to trade this, you can scalp these as it's happening. Okay, so zones, every time it hit the zone, it rejected off of it and dropped. Right now it's just using the 200 EMA on the 4-hour chart as support. So I believe it'll actually break through the zone and then drop down. This could happen tomorrow, guys. Well, I'm at Monday because tomorrow there's no Forex market. But this could happen as soon as market opens on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This could honestly happen. It could even start from down there. I do give it probably till Monday or Tuesday. It honestly took a little too long for it to drop, so it's just consolidating. But I do see this coming down to the 0.8588 area. That's where I have both my take profits at, and it's going to be a nice trade. Moving on to Euro JPY. Guys, Euro USD and Euro JPY have just crashed, okay? Now, I did call this trade out last time. Clearly, it did not hit take profit. But if you guys use proper risk management, you should have only stopped out in 21 pips, right underneath the 200 EMA, just like I explained. However, many of you guys know that I don't use stop loss, so technically I am still in this trade. So, and you guys, let me explain to you why I think Euro JPY and Euro USD are literally about to just explode up next week. Okay. If you guys look on the weekly, now market still hasn't closed yet, but let me hide the drawing tools real quick. There's a lot of wicks to the downside. Okay. One thing you should never do is trade against the main trend. Okay. Clearly right now, without even no drawing tools, where the cursor is at, you can kind of see there's a lot of support in this area. I'm sure I drew a zone. Yep. There's a zone. In fact, there's another zone right underneath of it. So if I copy and paste that, make it a little smaller. Right here, there's a lot of support. Okay. Price simply can't just drop the whole way down here. All right. It can't. It just can't. I mean, it could, but this candle right here with this huge wick tells me it's not going to. Okay, I do see some upside momentum, and let me explain it on the daily time frame for you guys. So you see the zone that I just drew up has been respected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, guys, and price is heading to that direction. Now, in the long term, I do see Euro JPY flying up to the negative 61 Fibonacci, and you can kind of see why. It even lands perfectly, aligns perfectly with this zone. Okay, so on a daily, right now it's rejected off the 78, closed right below it, and opened up right below, but then now it's above the 78. That's enough confirmation for me that next week this will start heading its way up. It could potentially come down to the zone one more time as a wick. I don't see that really happening because look, every time it came to the zone, it fell short. This time it hit the wick, and as soon as it hit the wick, that's a doji candle, and it started rising. Back in 25th of March, it came down. It did a couple wicks again, didn't fully touch the zone, and then it started rising. And guys, these rises are not something light. We're talking about 300 pips here. Okay, so I see 1, 2, 3 daily candles in a row of negative. Okay, this only tells me that this must rise up higher, because if it really wanted to fall, it would have fell in one huge candle. Okay, you guys have to see it in my perspective. I saw this drop kind of happening. I told you guys to enter right here in a buy for the simple fact that it was retesting this EMA. EMA is crossed over. That was an indicator that it was going to drop. The next day it dropped. But guys, if you see the pattern, every time it crosses over, comes down to the 78 area, rises. It's at that area right now. So what I could see possibly happening is maybe it'll do the Euro drop, Euro JBP drop that I mentioned. Maybe this will follow it. So this could potentially follow it, come down, and then before starting to rise up higher. This could be a potential trend line right here where price could meet. So let me delete this trend line right here. And yeah, so we're gonna keep this. So you guys, many of you like to know that I keep all my trades open. Show you guys, I don't delete it until I'm fully out. Okay, so I did actually enter already down here with the take profit of 125.53. Okay, just beneath that zone. There's no need to be greedy. There's no need to want to wait for the 200 EMA. Just simply get in and get out. There's many more trades to be able to trade. Okay, now hopping on to Euro USD. Same thing. I mentioned it in the Telegram channel. I got a couple messages of people telling me, thanks for the call. I basically called it at the bottom for you guys at this -61 and then -78 Fibonacci levels. This is a clear indication. If Euro USD, if Euro JBP, Euro JPY are going to drop as soon as market opens on Monday, then I can see Euro USD just consolidating. I don't see this actually dropping down any further for right now. If you guys look at the candles on the daily, it's been almost 5 negative candles in the last week, or in the last week and a half. So literally what this tells me is that it has to start rising up soon. Okay, it didn't make a new low, and I said it could come down, make a new low, a stop hunt, because everybody, look, here's what I want to stress out, guys. This is gonna, pay attention to this. I'm just gonna hide the drawing tools real quick. Right here, the 7th of March, it made this low, started rising, came down. 2nd of April, it almost broke the low, but it didn't, and it rose up. Now, on the 23rd of April, it closed like this. Okay, so any trader, now there's a reason why 90% of traders fail, right? Any trader in the world would have took a buy right here. It's 3 rejections on the daily. There's 3 wicks. This is a clear buy. Okay, so what the market makers do is they realize that, hey, there's a lot of people buying. Let's pocket their money. Let's go down, break the new low. So now people believe that it's going to keep going down lower. Okay, break the low, pocket everyone's money, hitting everyone's stop losses, and then before continuing to rise. So guys, I'm already in this previous buy. Yes, I'm in drawdown, but I entered into another buy. I see this coming up to at least the zone, and this will be more than enough for me to close in profit in all the trades combined. Okay, now I literally just broke all that on the daily. I could hop into the 4-hour. Maybe we'll see anything different. But guys, I like to look at the daily and just understand where things are at. So on the 4-hour chart right here, a lot of rejections, guys. This is what these candles all told that this was going to buy. That's why people bought. Okay, broke through it, broke through that zone, came down, and right here. So if I actually go into the 1-hour, I can probably draw up something called a W. Okay, something that I'll be teaching in the course when it comes out. But right here, made a new low, came down, couldn't make a new low. That's a W right here, right? At the second leg of the W, if the EMAs cross over, that's a huge indicator for an upside movement. Now, it made a third leg, something that I'll also be covering in the course, which it rejected and came back up here. This is a clear indication that this is going to rise, guys. So if you actually want to enter in a more than regular lot size, that is absolutely fine in my opinion. I've seen this happen many, many times before. And so I do see this rising up to at least this zone area where there's a lot of wicks over there. Okay, I'm not gonna hop into the 15 or 30 minute. I think 1 hour is the best for Euro JPY. I don't think I hopped on the 1 hour, but just kind of going over it. It respected this trend line many times right here. You can see there's a lot of wicks, and then crossed over right here. That's when it started dropping. Now, again, it's drawing up the same movement. We got the first leg and we got the second leg. EMA's crossed over. This is a huge indicator. This is going to be rising. I see it potentially. Let me delete that real quick. I see that potentially coming down, coming up first to the 124.93 area, which is the 61 or 78 Fibonacci level, and then rising up to the 61 Fibonacci level. Okay, so I do see this rising up to the 125.52 area, like I mentioned earlier. Now, guys, I mentioned that I'd be covering some cryptocurrency in this market breakdown, and I wanted to actually go ahead and explain it. So I'm not going to cover XRP because XRP simply follows BTC as of right now. I told you guys that this would be rising, so if I go on a daily or 4 hour, I told you guys this would be rising until the 6,000 area. And if you go to the daily, you guys see exactly what I called. Everyone's freaking out. Everyone's saying, oh, this is the next bull run, but I don't really think just yet. It hit 5,800 to the zone, precisely like I drew up before, guys. There's no coincidence that it came to the exact level. Okay? Now, I do see BTC continuing to rise, and there's a reason why I see that happening. If you look at the EMAs, let me zoom in so it's very clear. But if you look at the EMAs, it's just been respecting this upside movement, especially after this crossover right here on the daily that shows upside movement. So rejected off the zone at the 5,685 area, came down, retested this EMA. So what I see happening is I see price rising up even further to a higher, but stopping at 6,000. Okay, 6,000 is such a psychological level, guys. Every time it reached it in 2018, it rejected off of it, and once it finally broke it, it crashed. Okay, so what this tells me is that it's going to rise to 6,000, but then that's where it's going to have some trouble. And guys, I see this continuing to fall even further than the previous low of around 3,500. Okay, I actually do talk with a lot of mentors and millionaire crypto traders that also have the same perspective. So this is actually a very profitable and very accurate trade. Now, what I recommend is you really could just buy it now. So I see price going back to the 6,000 area. However, it's on the 200 EMA on the 4 hour chart, which tells me this is a rise that's going to happen. So if you'd like to enter in a buy, you could to the 6,000 area. But guys, I'd recommend having sell orders ready to be activated at the 6,000 price. Because once it reaches the $6,000 price, this could potentially fall to the 3,000 and even further to the 2,000 area, where banks will then realize that Bitcoin is at such a low price. It was at 30,000. Now banks can flood money into it when it's at 2,000, causing it to then rise from that level, okay, up to the 8,400. However, once it rises to 8,400, I don't believe it's a bull run yet until 10,000 area is broken. Once that happens, say bye-bye to Bitcoin, say bye-bye to XRP. They are both rising exponentially. Now, let me just cover XRP real quick. I'm not going to dive too deep into it, considering, guys, at the end of the day, it's at such a low price. It's at 30 cents, and it was at $3. So when the next bull run happens, and it reaches the previous $3, which is not anything crazy, it's just the previous high, then that's 1,000% increase. Okay? That's just ridiculous to think about. So, but going on to XRP, I want you guys to notice something. Every time price reached this zone, so I'm actually going to extend this zone right here, it bounced up. Okay? You guys see that? Back in August, July, September, October, December, every single time it came down to this zone, even wicks, it rose up. But I want you guys to notice something. And I'm going to compare it to Bitcoin really soon. But every time it touched this zone and it rose up, every time it touched it again, it didn't rise up as much. And it's very clear that every time it touches the zone, even though it's touching the exact same support, it's not breaching new highs. So what this tells me, and I'll show you guys, I'm not even going to tell you exactly what it's going to do next, but I'm just going to show you exactly what happened in Bitcoin. And you guys decide what do you think is going to happen next. Okay? So, around June 2018, price came down to this 6,000 price level, like I mentioned earlier, and rose up to 8,500. When it touched 6,000 again, it rose up. However, it didn't rise up to 8,400 or 500 area. It actually only rose to 7,400 area. Okay? And then dropped again. Once it touched the exact same price level, it didn't reach 7,500. It went to 6,500. And you see there's just higher, or not even, it's lower highs, but same support. Okay? In October, this was such a fake move, guys. Clear fake move. Once it closed underneath the trend line and it broke through that level, it crashed down to the next level. So, taking that into consideration, looking at XRP right now, zone rose up, came down, rose up again, not as much. So lower high, a lower high, and a lower high. And right now it's consolidating right back into this area. So what I see happening right now is that this could potentially, honestly, do the same thing Bitcoin did with a fake move upside as a wick before actually dropping down lower. Okay? So, guys, XRP could potentially drop down to the 20 cents area. Okay? This is the lowest it'll ever get. Okay? So, with Bitcoin rising next week, just to the 6,000 area, that's where I see this fake move happening. And then once Bitcoin crashes from the 6,000 area, that's where I see XRP dropping down to the 20 cents area. Once XRP reaches that area, you best bet you better scoop as many XRP as you can. Okay, buy as much of the coins. You could even over leverage it in the MT4. But guys, you have to get on this before it's too late. Okay? This is all for this time's FxBlade Fridays. And as always, enjoy your weekend.